Mr. Moore's math class.
Good afternoon and welcome to Mr. Moore's online math class. Now let's just say I am super excited to be teaching you guys this year. In fact, I'd probably say I'm more excited than a kid at Christmas time. Speaking of which, I hope you had a nice, safe and happy holiday, and I cannot wait to get stuck into teaching you mathematics and seeing you progress throughout the year. Now, these kind of lessons are a little bit different to what you're probably used to. Alright, I call it flipped learning. What it means is you basically go home, you learn all about the mathematics, then you come back to me with questions and we spend the whole lesson helping you guys out. No longer do you hear me come into the class, right up on the board and ramble on. Nah, it's all about you guys getting help when you need it most. Alright, but in order to be able to do this and be successful at it, what you need to do is you need to make sure you have a pen, a notebook, and a calculator on you when you're actually doing these lessons. Alright, because you will be asked to attempt some questions at different points in time. Now, another piece of advice is that you actually watch these lessons from a computer rather than from an iPad or an iPhone or something along those lines. Anyway, we have got plenty to get through today, so let's not hold back anymore and let's get stuck straight into the lesson. Awesome segue, Mr. Moore. Thank you very much. Alright guys, now today we're going to learn all about equations and inequations and how to actually solve them. But in order to do that, let's just have a look at what we mean by the terms equations and inequations. Now, first of all, equations means basically anything with an equal sign. And inequations means anything basically with a greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to sign. Now, when I'm working with equations and inequations, I like to think of myself as being a bit of a detective. That's right guys, a detective. Now, what I mean by that is I like to figure out the whole story of what's actually going on behind the scenes before I go through and try and solve the problem, the mystery of what X is. Alright, so let's have a look at what I mean by figuring out the whole story first before solving. Let's check it out. Hello, what's wrong?
Oh,
Someone
someone stole my money.
stole your money?
Yeah.
Well, it just so happens that today's your lucky day, you know why? Because I am #1 detective in all of Melbourne, so I can help you out.
That's good.
So, is there anything that you remember about this guy?
I think he had an X on him.
You had an X on him, okay? Is there anything else at all that you remember?
And maybe the number 17 on his back.
He had the number 17 on his back.
Yeah.
Alright, that should be enough to go on with. Alright, let's see what I can do for you and hopefully we can get that money box back for you, yeah? Alright, let's go. Clue. Oh, wait a second. No, clue. Oh, and +4. Come on, get it over with this. Crikey. X +4. Alright. Here you go. Please, there's a gun here. Alright, here we go. Divide by 3. Just jump in here and have a quick look. Divide by 3. And divide by 3. This way. Alright, +8. +8. +8. Okay, young sir, I was just wondering if you happen to know anything about a robbery that's just taken place.
No, I don't.
You don't know anything? Do you happen to have a name by any chance?
Who's asking?
Oh, it's just me, Mr. Moore, the #1 detective in all of Melbourne.
Oh, well, it's 15.
Your name's number 15.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a second.
Equals 15. Alright, let's have a think about this story. Plus 4 divided by 3 plus 8. Let's do the opposites now. Minus 8 times by 3 minus 4. Minus 8 from both sides. They go away, so you end up getting x plus 4 divided by 3 is equal to 7.
Okay. I think I'm onto something here.
Times both sides by 3 now. 3 just cancel out. Gets us x plus 4 is equal to 21.
Hey, number 21, I was right. Wait a second.
Minus 4 now. Cancels out. X is equal to 17. I knew it.
Buddy, can you please take off your bag? I knew it. Number 17. Turn around, please, and face this way. Get down on your knees, thank you. Hands behind your back. A quick look in here. Another great day done by Detective Moore. He's gonna love it.
Okay, so the following questions are actually asking us to solve for x. Now, whenever we're actually looking for something, what I like to do is circle what it is that we're looking for. So let's just do that now. Alright, so we're looking for x here. And I also like to make sure that I also write out the story that's actually happening to the x using BODMAS. So what we'll do is write BODMAS at the top of the screen. Remembering that BODMAS stands for brackets, other, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Alright, so let's have a look here at the x first of all over at question A. So, if we have a look at the x, what's happening to it? Are there any brackets? No. Is there anything other than brackets happening, or anything like powers or anything like that? No. Is there any division? No. Is there any multiplication? Yes, it is, because it's saying 4 times x, so it's saying multiplied by 4. Write that part of the story down. Is there any addition? No. Is there subtraction? Yes, there is. It's minus 7. Okay, that's the story of what's happening to x. Now let's write the opposite. So you got plus 7 divided by 4. And we draw the magic arrow going up because that tells us the order of what we need to do. Alright, so first of all we plus 7 to both sides. Plus 7 here, plus 7 here. Now of course, the negative 7 and the plus 7, they will cancel each other out. So we end up with 4x is equal to 13 plus 7 is 20. Alright, we've done that step, give it a little tick. Next part says divide by 4. So we're going to divide both sides by 4, divide by 4, and divide by 4. Of course these 4's will cancel each other out, leaving us with just our lovely x here, and that is equal to 20 divided by 4 is 5. Therefore, x equals 5 in this example. Alright, the next question says 4x minus 2 over 7 plus 5 equals 3. Once again, what are we looking for? That is the x. Alright, let's go through this and we actually write out the story of what's happening to the x. Now whenever you've got something on top, what I like to do is we'll put it in brackets because it actually is what's happening first. So we look here, now we go, are there any brackets? Well, yes there are, you can see them here. Alright, so inside the brackets, are there any others happening, so to the power of or anything like that? No, there's not. Are there any divisions? No, there's not. Any multiplications? Well, yes there is, it's being multiplied by 4. Are there any additions? No, but are there any subtractions? Yes, it's being subtracted by 2. Alright, we now go outside the brackets and we look for more brackets. Well, there's no more brackets. So now we have a look and we go, what else is happening? First thing is a division. So we go divide by 7. And then the next thing that happens is the plus 5 over here. So you got plus 5. Right. What you should notice is that the number of steps that you come up with should equal the number of numbers that you've actually got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Alright, let's go through and we'll write the opposite. Minus 5 times by 7. Add 2 and then divide by 4. Draw the magic arrow and let's go through it. So we'll do minus 5 first of all because it's at the bottom. Minus 5 and minus 5. The negative 5's will of course cancel out, leaving us with 4x minus 2 over 7 equals 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Cross it off or give it a tick, whatever. The next step says times by 7 to get rid of this divide by 7 part. So we go times by 7 and times by 7. when we got the 7 times and divide by 7, that's going to cancel out, so you end up with 4x minus 2 equals negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. Alright, cross that step out. The next step says plus 2, so we're going to add 2 to both sides. Add 2 to both sides. Now look at each step as we go. What happens is every time we do a new step, it cancels out another number. So you got plus 2 and the negative 2 will cancel each other out, and you get 4x is equal to negative 14 plus 2 is negative 12. Cross that out. Finally divide by 4 to both sides. 4x divided by 4 will go away. You end up with x is equal to negative 12 divided by 4 is of course negative 3. Therefore x is equal to negative 3. Excellent. Alright, let's go through and we'll do this for the last one here. So we're going to go through and we've already got the brackets there over the top of the division, so that's great. Let's go through and look inside the brackets now. We've got, are there any others inside the brackets? No, there's not. Are there any multiplications inside the brackets or divisions? Well, there's a multiplication there, so we're going to write times by 2. Alright, then also we've got the minus 5 there. Alright, we'll now go outside the brackets and look for any others. Well, there's another right here, the other being to the power of 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to write to the power of 2, x to the power of 2. Alright, and we go other than others. Are there any divisions? Yes, divide by 3. Alright, multiplications, no. Additions, plus 3 over here at the end. And there's nothing else. Remembering that for every number that you hear other than the x, there should be a step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to do the opposites now. Plus 3 is minus 3. Divide by 3 is times 3. X squared, the opposite of an x squared is the square root of x. Minus 5 is add 5. And times by 2 is divide by 2. Drawing the magic arrow, and of course if we get it all right, we'll get x on its own. Okay, so the first step says minus 3, so we're going to minus 3 from both sides. And there you go. So you end up with 2x minus 5 bracket squared over 3, and the plus 3 and the minus 3 will cancel each other out, equals 27. Alright, cross that step off. Times by 3 now to both sides, so to multiply by 3, 3 and the 3 will cancel each other out, so you end up with 2x minus 5 squared is equal to 81. If you don't believe me, check it out on your calculator. Alright, the next step is square root. Now when we square root both sides, so we square root this side here, and we square root this side, what we end up with is 2x minus 5, because the square and the square roots will cancel each other out, is equal to positive or negative 9. Now why is that? Well, that's because if you square positive 9, that is 9 times 9, you get 81. If you square negative 9, you get negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. So you got to include the positive and the negative here. Alright, so we're actually going to do this as two answers. We're going to write it as 9 or negative 9. So you got 2x minus 5 is equal to 9 or negative 9. Alright, the next step here is to add the 5 to both sides, so plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So you end up with 2x is equal to, the negative 5 and the 5 cancel out, 14, or negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. Alright, divide both sides by 2, divide both sides by 2. Okay, so 2's cancel out, end up being x is equal to 7, and negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. So therefore x is equal to 7 or negative 2. Okay, so now it's time to press pause and try these two questions. Once you've done these, what I want you to do is press play again and you can see my solutions to these questions. Okay, so now you can see that I've written out my story to find out what x is equal to, followed the magic arrow and gone down to find out that x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 2 for the first question. And I've done the same over here, writing out my story, going back up the magic arrow to find that x is equal to 2 or x is equal to negative 14 over 3. Now when you get an answer like negative 14 over 3, leave it as a fraction rather than writing it as a decimal.